Hey guys, and this right here is top 4, and we have me with the Spellbook playmat and green sleeves versus Just Jensen with the white sleeves. This is a Spellbook Prophecy versus Dragon Ruler match, and I might as well warn you right now, cause this is one hell of a match. It's 50 minutes something long. So be warned. Me shuffling up for the match, and I've been winning locals for the last 3 weeks, and last week I faced Kim in top 4 also. There I beat him, and let's just say this time I did not win the local. I did not win local for 4th week in a row. But this is actually an interesting matchup because it isn't really any blowouts. It was actually a really good match, and Kim will start us off. Gold sucking for Blaster. And adding Burner. He uses Burner effect to bring out Blaster. Looks about ready to pitch 2 more. He pitches the guard and reaction to bring out Redux in defense. Overlays them for the sack and gets the tokens. Uses Redux effect from the graveyard and adding title from title. He adds the stream. Then he pitches Dream and didn't really see what it was to bring out title. So this is a really good opening for him. Even if he has Rejuve, that's super crazy. You see here, he asked me if it's okay he just put the 3rd token out. I just show him my amazing starter hand because it's super really amazing. This is just local, so I drew Priestess as the 6th card, and he has the Maxi, so he did not have the Rejuve. I Judgment, Starhall, puts Judgment at 1. I have the Secrets also. And gets out Magician. That way I can kill more tokens. I add the power. With the Magician. Just to make sure I have more spell books in the graveyard. Uses master, revealing the power and copying secrets. Uses power on the magician. So you see I have 4 spellbooks in the graveyard right now, and he puts away double token and I searches from the power. I search tower, it looks like. Play the tower. Here you see me using High Priestess effect and destroying the last token. This was actually a misplay I realized later on. I should have left all my books in the graveyard because I in phase add fate and I have a fate face down. I bring out Kaiko because he pretty much only has 1 card in the hand. And then I use the fate to banish one of the sacks. I banished the one that has redux on it because he already has a lot of redux in the graveyard. Unfortunately now the other fate I have face down is pretty much kind of dead because now I only have a fate in the graveyard, so only 1 spellbook, and I have the Book of Moon face down. Lucky for me, High Priestess and High Priestess is a lot stronger, so that should probably give me some edge. He uses the sack to bring out 2 tokens. You see him lifting my graveyard and it only consists of 1 card, and that's Fate. Pretty bad. He pops the Kaiko, of course, because now his graveyard becomes live. He brings out Blaster. Considering what to banish. I think he banishes Title and looks like he banishes Stream and he might do a Redux. Oh yeah, he put the Draco sack back in his banish pile because it was banished by Fate. It was never in the graveyard. He did banish Title and Stream to bring another title to his hand. He pitches for Lightning. To bring out Tempest. And I believe he overlays them for Big Eye. Or maybe it was the 3rd sack. He brings out Redux. Because the Blaster was summoned correctly, so it can attack. He overlays the Tempest and Redux that was brought out with the babies. since they cannot attack. And I'm pretty sure he makes Big Eye. He makes the third sack, and I Book of Moon it. So he has Blaster that can attack, but it's not stronger than Priestess. The Draco sack cannot attack because it's popped Kaiko. So his only option right now is pretty much attacking the Magician. I draw for turn and use Tower Effect, putting back the one Fate to draw another card. I Secrets, putting Starhole at 6 it looks like. I think I Secrets for maybe another Starhole. No, the Magician. Summons the Magician. Place the second Starhole, putting the first one at 7. Place Eternity to bring back Judgment, I think. Just so I can replenish my hand in the end phase. Play the Judgment. Now you really see those Starholes get rolling. Masters. Copying Eternity, I think. Yeah, copy Eternity to bring back power, I think. Copy Secrets. I then play the Life, bringing back Kaiko and banishing a Magician. So Kaiko is level 6. Put a die on the Life for 2 just to show that it gains 2 more levels. I had the power in hand, so that's why I didn't Eternity it. Powers up the Kaiko. And that puts Spellbook of Judgment at 4. Counters 3 or 4. Magician hits the 1 token. Kaiku hits the Blaster. Doing a count there. And that Kaiko was something like 44,000 something. Pretty cool actually. Gets the power effect. And looks like I forget to banish something from his graveyard. Priestess attacks over the sack and entering main phase 2. Sets 1 back row, uses Priestess effect. banishing Judgment to hit the face down sack. He has the Veiler, and I have the face down Fate from early on in the game, which I changed to put the Priestess face down, so it will be unaffected by Veiler. Secrets and Power is banished. Zack is killed. Jiaogen would be brought out in the end phase by Spellbook of Judgment, and Kim pretty much scoops it up. Looks at his draw and scoops up game 1. It seems like to me every time, either way, if I lose or win the die roll against dragons, I pretty much always win game 1. Game 2 always is a lost cause, and game 3 is anyone's game. Usually I win, but yeah, let's take a quick break, and I'll be back for game 2 to do some more commentary. And it looks like we're pretty much ready for game 2. Me shuffling Kim's deck and hoping he doesn't have Eradicator. Contemplating on his move. Decides that it's an awkward hand and just passes. I know for a fact that I had a really awkward hand in game 2, so I set one and passes. No, I set one back. No, I just set the monster and passes right back to Kim. And Kim draws, sets one back row, I believe, and passes right back to me. We both had a really awkward start, so you see Kim has the card destruction in hand. He said to me that he would rather wait until he could stop me from doing any plays with the drone Lockbird before using the card destruction. He didn't really feel the need to use it. I draw the Magician, which pretty much makes my hand a lot more live. I started with 4 monsters. Oh no, it was 3 monsters: Judgment, Tower, and MST. So I have the Judgment. I added the secrets with the Magician. Place the secrets. Adds the masters. Ask him if he had anything to. I added the masters, but he didn't, so place it. Adds the fate, and he has to draw a Lockbird. I played the tower. I flipped the Tsukuyomi face up first to flip the Magician back face down. Attack with the Tsukuyomi for 1100 and place the tower. Sets one back row, and in phase Tsukuyomi bounces to the hand. He finally plays the card destruction, ditching a hell lot of dragons. You see, I had the Tsukuyomi, the Veiler, and the Defender, the Magical Knight. So the 3 monsters that I told of that I started with. And I set the Mystical Space Typhoon. I lost Fate. I lost the 3 monsters and Fate, because there was no point in setting Fate when I didn't have a face-up spellcaster. I set the MST, because he finally set a back row. I choose to, when he brings out Redux, I believe it is, I choose to MST his back row, worried that it might have been Eradicator virus. It turns out that he also had MST face down. Yeah, you see there he uses reaction to bring out the Redux, and I flips the MST, popping his back row, and it's turns out to be MST that he shoots my tower with, and the tower will miss timing because of my MST. Totally backfired right there. He uses lightning to bring out Tempest, and I'm about to considering scooping. Oh yeah, he actually can game me. And this he actually OTKs me. He makes the sack, and as you can see on the dice, I have put forward he had only used Blaster and Title, so he could still use Redux and Tempest. He makes the sack, and he tributes the sack to pop my face down Magician, leaving me totally defenseless. He's looking through his graveyard to And I'm back for game 3. Just shuffling up Kim's deck right there. And I'll be starting us off in this game, the last game of the for the day. And I have a decent hand. Let's put it like that. I had um, um, Tower, Starhold, Judgment, and I didn't have the Judgment, but I have Tower, Starhold, and Secrets. So and Book of Moon. So even though I took the Magician to put the Judgment through my hand, there was no way for me to get exactly 3 or more on that Judgment. You see him having Veiler, and I have the Book of Moon, so I get the effect still. Kim asked me if I have a not completely nuts hand, and like I said, I could only bring out the oven is done, but I could pretty much only put 2 spell cards on the Judgment, and therefore not being able to bring out Jaugen. You see, I have the Starhold Tower combination. No really side deck cards at all. I just enters end phase. Again, I started a lot of monsters again, even though I only play 11 in the main deck, and I think I side into maybe 12. It might have been 11 still, but I started off with the 2 or 3 monsters pretty much every game. It was actually really horrible. I add Secrets and Tower in the end phase. I add the Tower cause in case he has the Eradicator virus. I decided to not bring out the Magician cause if he has the Eradicator, I want more options in drawing Magician. So I picked the Veiler. And therefore also putting a tuner in my graveyard to use Spellbook of Life on in later gameplay. He draws for turn, and Kim contemplate on his move. He actually starts to run numbers in his head if he can OTK me. He pitches the Lightning and Tidal to bring out Tempest. Pitches the Burner and Redux to bring out Blaster. You see, he had all the right elements, and so now he has the Earth and Water in the graveyard, and he has the Wind and Fire that was brought out by babies. Makes then a really amazing graveyard for him. Him overlaying for the sack, obviously. Pitching Blaster. Oh, he actually, he pitches the Blaster to get his sack tokens. Again, he's really using his time just to make sure that he can OTK me. It turns out that no matter what he does, he wasn't able to OTK me. So this actually takes about 3 or 4 minutes for him to figure out, and then he just decides to set up shop and hope that I don't have anything really good to push back with. So here you see him looking through his graveyard, and this is where he uses the 3 or 4 minutes to decide a move that if he can OTK. He ends up with the one Draco sack, and hopefully he decides that maybe it's enough to hold me at bay. Unfortunately, I don't really have a, a really good hand, and I draw more monsters on the tower. I actually draw Crescent for turn and a Tsukiyomi on the, or maybe it was Jaugen, I can't really remember, but it was a monster I drew for the tower. Not helping my situation with an already monster hand that's building up. And he's still looking. Actually, this is a really boring part. Easily, he took way too long. It was like 3 or 4 minutes thinking, but okay. He wanted to see if he could OTK, but yeah. I probably should have scooped the game just after seeing my draws. He had the perfect grave set up, and it was ridiculous. You see him pointing his finger there, just running numbers in his head. That Veiler right there, that's it's annoying him. It's really really annoying him that Veiler was there. He chooses to use Tempest effect and banish Dracossack. And he banishes the... Like I said, he chose to set up shop instead since he realized he could not OTK, so he just went for a Dracossack. It all came down to what I would draw for turn and draw on the tower. And we had on the other top 4 table, it was Chris playing Dragon Rulers versus Anas, who played Evil Swarm, and Chris took a quick 2-0 victory over that. And There we go, he makes the Draco say. 2 more token hits the field. And I draw for turn. And I drew Crescent and put back Judgment. And then I draw a monster. I think it was Yugioh. No point of summoning Yugioh and using an effect. Just to destroy tokens and losing a card, even if he might have Valor, so. I summon Kaiko. Secret. For the power. Place the power on Kaiko. Looking in my graveyard to see if there's enough for Fate. Attack a token and I just get to search right away. I'm really considering what to search there, cause like I said, I had a really rubbish hand. It was really terrible. Well, not completely terrible, but terrible enough to not do anything against his setup, both in grave and field. Mm. I end up picking Eternity. Because I had the Fate in hand, I guess. Yeah, I have the Fate in hand. So Fate banishes the sack. Hoping to preventing him from using his graveyard with the Kaiko. Use Eternity to boost Kaiko with more attack. It's up by 4 or 5 counters now. And I add the secrets and set 1 back row. End my turn with 3 monsters in hand. Oh, I actually didn't draw Crescent as of right now. It was on my next turn that I drew Crescent and another monster yet again. So I set the secret, hoping that he couldn't OTK me just in case. That turns out to bite me in the ass because I could really use the secrets the turn after. When I drew Crescent, I could have used secrets to life back the Kaiko. And Kim, he tributes 2 tokens to summon a title. That that Kaiko would have been extremely good if it was because he had title or a blast in hand. He doesn't have the he didn't have the blaster, but he did have the title. Uh, he was a little worried about the back row. Unfortunately, Kaiko was lacking 200 attack, so he wasn't quite strong enough. So this pushes Kim to use his Dragon's effect and bring out a Draco sack. Good enough for me to not get OTK'd just yet, since he had to use his battle phase with the title. He goes for the third sack of the game and pops the back row, which was my secret. Um, excuse me. He ends up just passing turn. Looks like he was about to use a baby dragon but decided not to. Now this is why I drew Kristen off turn and then drew a monster off the tower. And I tell him that I could pretty much have used that secret right about now. I summon Defender. I could also have summoned Jargon, but what's the point? So I just summon Defender. And I guess I attack a token. Sets 2 back row. More bluffs, you know. Oh, I actually drew compulsory. Yeah, I drew compulsory. I chose not to use it in his draw phase because I knew he has his graveyard completely filled up, and if he chose to use the sacks effect on my you can see my mouse there circling the other token right there. That becomes a crucial move on my next turn. Well, crucial or crucial. I pretty much already lost the game, but like I said, I chose not to compulsory in the draw phase because if he wanted to pop, I had another bluff set, so I would rather wait to see if he made another sack or he actually makes Big Eye to try and take control of my defender. And that's when I compulsory. I still lose defender though, since it can only do it once per turn. And Kim looks like he's about to go for game another time around. So he has the Tempest that can attack, and he has the Blaster and Redux was brought out by babies, so he has the Sack and Tempest that can attack. He overlays the... Oh, he tributed for the Blaster, so the Blaster can attack too. You see, I had the compulsory. I finally drew some traps. And I believe Kim has drawn a Yugioh for turn. He just checks that it's once per turn. I choose to remove the counter from Defender itself. No point of lowering his attack by removing from Star Hall. I'm still gonna lose him anyways. Take the damage, and then Blaster runs over him. That dead crescent that's in the back row. You see him using Rejuve for 2, and then another Rejuve for another 2. And I'd be like, draw a Magician. Off one of the cards, and I'm pretty sure I lose right there because I say, do you have Veiler, since he just drew like 4 cards. He got 4 new cards in the end phase, and I just go summon Magician. You have Veiler. He did have the Veiler, but he chose not to use Veiler. He says it's okay. Um, like I said early on, the token next to his graveyard, it kind of fade away with his playmat when you're sitting there, and when it's so far away from the other monsters, I kind of forgot that it was there. Um, and even though I forgot it was there, it's not like it was gonna matter, because you see me Eternity the secrets, and then I secrets for the power. I was gonna use power to attack the Draco sack, and I was gonna master the power, and I wanted to attack the Draco sack and then get Spellbook of Life, and then Spellbook of Fate also. So, and he drawn a Luxbird when I add the power, so right there it's pretty much game over. There was no chance of me of coming back, and then I even misplay because I forgot the token was there. Yeah. So I just scoop it up. You see, I scoop up, and the dead crescent, and then we have a side, a guy on the side who points to the token, say it kind of fades away in the playmat. But yeah, this wasn't my time to win yet again, but there's always next week, right? So 3 weeks in a row, that's also pretty good. And That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this.